You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast, delivering the knowledge in all things fitness business. We help gym owners win. Here are your hosts, Tim Lyons and Randy Engston.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, and joined in studio today, none other than the co-host. Everybody knows Randy, the Lieutenant of Longevity Engston.
Oh, we're going to live forever. That'd be great, huh? No.
It's happening.
Is it?
No.
Okay, good.
In the movies it is.
Was it Tuck Everlasting? Is that the movie? Years ago, I remember a book or movie.
I don't know, but I know it was hot today, and I know it was 116 degrees here in Arizona. So that was like, I think yesterday was the first 110 day of the year.
It was, yeah, it was eye-opening.
So every year, and it usually is in July, I know like every year in the doldrums of summer here in Arizona, it's 110 and no less than 110 for 7 to 10 straight days, and that's when you know you're in the thick of it. And then the night comes and it's supposed to cool down, and it's 103 degrees at 2 in the morning, and you're like, it never gets below that.
Yeah, our AC's never shut off. Every fan's in the house. Things are freezing up and, dying every year.
Come to Arizona, they said.
Yeah, exactly.
So good episode for you guys today, and something that hits home because of the coaching clients that we're working with. In fact, Kelly, who's, if you don't know who Kelly is, she's actually the sales coach on our team. She does a lot of the sales calls, and she coaches our clients, gym owners, on sales and sales systems in their gyms. And if you guys are interested in learning more about that, book a call, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. Actually, I think you take those calls, Randy, so you can speak right to Randy in regards to the sales coaching, something that we really enjoy. In fact, we were just talking about today how the team really enjoys working with gyms on sales processes, because that's usually one of the biggest struggles that gym owners face, is being able to have a sales system and train the team in order to make sales consistently on a system.
And a system.
Oh, look at that. Another system that we live and die on systems. And if the team is all on the same page and they're doing the same things, you can actually get really good at sales, and it doesn't have to be difficult.
Yeah, when we talk about this in the marketing realm, or in the marketing process, right? And the process of taking cold traffic all the way through to a member, this is that second step, right? Marketing, now they're in the door, this is going to pick up and take off. So that system and that baseline then will allow you to increase your effectiveness and work towards a higher conversion percentage.
Yep, higher conversions equal higher revenue.
Right off the bat, one of the first things that we're going to, Kelly is going to teach is a sales tracker.
Yep, we have a sales tracking system. Yep, it's great, and you can use that tracker to grade your team, so you can hold people accountable to metrics, right? And one of the big things, and you hit on this, because yes, your big part of the sales coaching program is mindset.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've always found, I think I've expressed this to you, is that trainers are usually bad salespeople. And it's mostly because the mindset is that I'm here to help people. I'm here to train them, change their life, and do good. And they look at sales as taking money, and that's hurting the other person. So automatically they just have this bad relationship with sales, and they struggle with it. And if that's you out there listening, that's not uncommon.
It's very common.
And if you're a gym owner and you've got a trainer that can also sell, that's your golden boy or girl, right?
Yeah.
You put that guy in the front desk seat as the fitness director. That's your guy or girl, and because it's so uncommon,
it's a unicorn.
Because if you can speak intelligently about fitness, training, programming, and then also be great at sales, that's your bread and butter. And that's who we have as Zach. You've heard me talk about Zach is a great trainer, very, very educated in training, but he is a business mind and is not afraid to ask for money.
Yeah, one of the first things that when I got started with any sales back when I was young, 18, 19, that I started my career in sales. And some of the first coaching that I got was to understand the personality type of the individual sitting across from you. There's two personality types that are going to play into effect in a sales consultation. It's the personality type of the person asking for the sale, as well as the person who's trying to buy the service.
Right.
Like you were touching on, a lot of trainers and gym owners they got in the business because they're passionate, because they're here to help individuals. They're a giver, if you may, in their personality types. We run DISC assessments for our team members and stuff like that. So we help align our responsibilities and roles with the things that we excel at and the things that motivate us. But your typical, gym owner and trainer, they're usually those givers. They would do that work without the pay. They would do it without the expectation of a sale. They're there to help and nurture, and they give value.
And if you left it up to them, they'd give all the training away for free.
Yeah, exactly. And
right?
and without, 100%, we've had clients that have come to us.
That's right.
That have been in that realm where clients are literally giving them money, and they would take some of it, and then they would show off a few bucks, and they'd give it back, and give them a discount right on the spot.
Yeah.
For no reason, just
No
because
reason.
I felt like they could use a discount.
Yeah.
Well, that person's in your facility, willing to pay you what you've already asked for, or asked for that service, and you're still finding a way of getting that money back. So
yeah, the unfortunate thing is for gym owners, trainers that are making the sale, fitness is easy for you. It's easy. That's why you maybe undervalue what you're actually providing as a solution, and that by default makes you feel bad and want to give a discount or give something for free and just to get want to help, and that's the wrong way to look at it.
And it comes back, and we've talked about it in other episodes, where the accountability factor of that exchange of value needs to be there.
Yep.
Clients do not value things that they get for free. In general, human nature, we don't value things as much when we get something for free as if we spent our good, hard-earned money on it.
Yep.
We talked about personal training and one-on-one training and why certain price points motivate an individual to show up for their sessions.
Yep.
And if you just give away your services all the time, you're not going to be able to provide the highest quality result that client is desiring, because you're giving it away. And then their expectation of what they're going to receive changes,
exactly. And so a lot of times, and we were just talking about this before the show, a lot of times a trainer, gym owner, you're in a sales consultation, you've done all the hard work, you've gotten over objections, and you've gotten the why and the pain, and you've figured out that this is the best solution for that person. And the client is asking you, how do I get started?
Yeah.
Why is that a problem?
The disconnect of the comfort of asking for the sale. Like even joking around, will that be cash or credit, right? Like you think of like your standard retail. Like if you were to walk through a store, as you get the things that you're going to purchase, you get to the counter, it's a transaction. Yep. That's the next step. And you as the consumer them as the consumer should not be in the position to have to ask how they're going to get started. It should come from a place of authority. You should guide that client to the next step. And we talk about it all the time. Remove the difficulty, remove the friction of the sale. Once you get the objections out of the way, the emotional side of a sale is completed. Logic comes into play. Can I afford this service? If that's a yes, no brainer. There's no other reason that client is not getting started. So ask for the sale.
Right.
Get comfortable asking for the sale.
So that's a big part of this episode, is asking the hard questions. Are you ready to get started? Or the assumptive close, hey, let's get you started today. Go ahead and fill this out, or let me get your card, or whatever it is. That's the ultimate goal, right? The gym owners, the trainers, whoever's doing the sales, your salesperson has to ask for the sale. It's time to make the transaction happen. So you just ask. And that's one of the biggest pieces they're leaving out.
It just seems like the simplest thing, right? Like, okay, this person, they're in.
They're ready.
They're done. They're ready to get started. So let's move into action.
Let's get it.
I don't remember where I was going to go with that, but we'll come back.
Yep. A couple other questions, that you can use, and I just want to just give you some stuff to use. That's what this podcast is for, to help you win. One of the great things when somebody's talking about their life, right? They're talking about how I work and I got the kids and all these things that could potentially be a reason why they can't get started today or on a fitness program in general. I just stop the conversation right there and I say, is this even a good time for you to get started on a fitness program? And they almost all say absolutely yes. And so now that objection's out of the way. Like, let me just ask you, is this, like, you've told me all these things, got the kids and the work schedule. It's like, is this even a good time for you to get started? Because I want to make sure that this is a good time for you. They always say yes. I've actually had somebody say no, and that's, thank you.
Yeah.
Now it isn't a good time.
Absolutely.
Well, let's get that off the table. Right. And then maybe we work on to try to find a reason why that maybe can, but don't go all the way through this thing and then let them throw all this excuse at you at the end, because they're going to tell you all their stuff in the consultation. If you're doing it right in the way that we teach you how to do it, you're going to find out all the stuff you need to know well before it's time to ask. So you've overcome everything, and then you get to a point where they're in, emotional's done, logic sets in. Is this a good, like, let's get you started today. Let's go ahead and fill this out or whatever it is. Let me get your ID or your credit card. And it's time. So gym owners have a tough time. I always say gym owners because I'm a gym owner.
Yeah, sure.
It's really not always the gym owner.
Not always
it's
a gym owner.
Trainer, salespeople in the fitness industry have a tough time asking for the sale, overcoming the objections, and just asking the tough questions.
Yeah, I mean, sales at the end of the day, like, you've got the hardcore old school car guy, where it's just drive, boiler room type sales, close. And then you've got the other end of this spectrum, which is probably almost too far sometimes. Actually, both ends of the spectrum, right? You could be too aggressive here, and you could be too passive at the other end of the spectrum. But I think that the majority of gym owners and personal trainers fall in the more passive realm. And one thing to understand is this person's in a chair in your facility speaking to you. You are in a place of authority already. They are coming to you as somebody who is going to be giving them the solution to a problem that they're facing. Give them the solution to the problem that they're facing. More often than not, if you guide them to the right program from them genuinely, that's done. They're in. You're the expert giving them the recommendation. They're going to take your advice. It's just, you have to become comfortable with asking for the sale. If it's not one of your strengths, if that's not a personality trait that you're most comfortable with, there's a book that I've recommended to a lot of clients of ours and friends and other people that I know that are in that realm, and it's called The Prosperous Coach. And it's about how some of that accountability comes into play, about the exchange of value taking place. Something needs to happen in order for them to receive the results that you're there to provide for them.
Right. And if you really need help, I mean, let's jump on a call, guys. I mean, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. We've got a solution for you. We've been working with gym owners for a while now, and gyms in general, and we've been doing some great things. The sales have all been increasing. The best feeling is when we get a gym owner who has maybe 2 or 3 people on their team that do sales, or maybe 2 and them. And we're coaching them as a group, and the energy that they take into the sales process now, they're very clear. Because a lot of times, and it's happened here in the beginning where it was my way. I just did my thing. I made it up as I went along, and I found my role. It might not necessarily be the best fit for a Zach or for you or whoever it is, but when it's coming from an outside third-party source, we've got your system, and we have several different ways to do stuff, because there are some personality types that work better in the doctor visit close, or the straight shooter close, or whatever the closes are, and we can tailor it to you. And then the gym is firing all cylinders. I mean, imagine that, without a shadow of a doubt, when that person sits into that office, 8 out of every 10 people are coming out with a membership.
It's exciting.
It's great. Now it's how many more can I get in that seat? And it's not like, 50% are getting a membership. It's 80% or higher. And because every single person that's coming in is going through that same process that your whole team is on board with. And then let's just say if a sale doesn't happen, you guys as a group can come together. At what point in that process do you think you lost it?
Sure. And it comes back to the system. And we preach this all the time, guys. If you don't have the systems in your business, you don't have a baseline for measurement. You can't look at conversion percentages. I can honestly tell you that I get on almost every call that we do with clients, or prospects, I guess. People that are interested in some of the services that we have. Almost always, the closing percentage of their sales is 80%.
That's what they're telling you.
That's exactly what we're receiving as far as the information. Now, if I ask them, hey, do you have sales trackers in place? Do you have, processes when it comes to the sales? Are you guys building rapport? Like we could run down the list of things that we would do. More often than not, it's a no. So
they don't really know.
Exactly. It's a belief. Well, we think we do pretty well, but at the end of the day, like I can tell you that when sales are good in your business is like a different breed. Like the energy, the excitement, it's fun to go to work. People are joining your organization. It's like growing a family. This is business. That's the whole reason that we're here.
Right.
And
I know why a lot of the people they're telling you 80%. I know it because in their head, if somebody doesn't sign up, and I've done this too, you make an excuse as to why they weren't a good fit.
Oh, sure.
So that one doesn't count. Well, this person really wasn't serious. Well, that one doesn't count. But really, it's like, oh, well, actually, it's 50% or 40%.
Guys, when you have a system in play, your job as a salesperson is to disqualify that individual, not like hard close them. I mean, that's a lot of our process is just making sure that they fit. Like this is the solution for their need. And if they fit, they check all these boxes, cool, let's get started.
Yep, simple. Simple, guys. So like I said before a couple times, if you guys are interested in getting a sales process dialed in for your facility, you need to get on a call with us, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. Jump on a breakthrough call with Randy. If sales is what you need, if it's more systems, we can talk about that. But this is something that we've all discussed internally at ProFit. We really enjoy doing. It's like I love these huge breakthroughs that we're having with these gym owners, and Kelly's just loving working with individual sales teams and getting their systems dialed in. It's something we really are really good at.
Yeah.
And be happy to help you guys. If if you're just not sure what's going to happen when somebody sits down with your team, if you're not really confident about it, it's probably a good time to get that fixed because number one, the potential you're losing is massive, and you're spending good money to get those people to show up at your door. If you're not closing 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 of those, even though you may think you are, go back and look. Like I said, you find reasons why that number isn't really the number, and just because you just didn't do a good job. Like that person probably would have signed up if you did it a different way.
Let's look at this whole cold prospect all the way to a membership. Marketing is where a lot of people spend their or put their belief as far as like how I can make more money. Like I need more bodies through the gym. Absolutely, we all can use that. But if you fix this conversion percentage, every butt that you put in those chairs is now that much more likely to be signing up for your membership. So have these systems in place, have the tracking and the measurements in place, work towards better conversions, and your business is going to explode.
Absolutely.
Explode. It's like exponential growth.
Yep. You take the same amount of leads, like you change that conversion percentage. So let's just say, I'm a numbers guy. So let's say you got 100 consultations and you're closing at 50%, 50 people sign up. If you change that to 80%, 80 people sign up, and you didn't change the original consultations, right? You still have 100 people. So that's probably where we should be focusing as gyms, as fitness businesses, is in the sales process, because that's to get them to actually show up at your door. That's the hard part. The marketing, to get them in, to get them to schedule, to show up, to change their own schedule, to drop the kids off so they can make sure that they're there on time. There's a huge commitment on their level to get them. That's the hard part. Sure. And if they get all the way to your door in a consultation at the time that they said they were going to come in, and you don't close them, and I hate saying closing a deal, but if you don't convert them into a member, that's your fault. Sure. They're 100%. Ready, right? They are ready. Unless they were an absolute terror and you just, and we've had this, we just wouldn't be a good fit to work with you or us or whatever. Maybe that's a reason not to sign somebody up. But other than that, you're in business to make money. You're in business to change lives. You got to get your sales conversion process dialed in and have systems. There's something to be said about too. The system takes a lot of the comfort, or it builds your confidence level. When you're in that position, you're not in a place of scarcity, desperate. I have to make this happen. You remove all of that because it's a conversation around either a defined script or a process that's in place where each of these steps, check boxes that you have to do in order for this conversation to go the way that it's supposed to go. And then it's done. It's easy.
ask for the sale when that client's ready to give you, get started.
Ask for the sale. That's the biggest takeaway from this.
It sounds so simple, but at the end of the day, this is where the struggle is coming back.
Yep. Did you ask for the sale? Well, you know what? I don't think I did. Well, maybe that's where we should start. Ask for the sale, right? So, guys, if you need help, like I said, jump on a call, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. We've got a coaching program. It's a 4-week coaching program, really intensive, one-on-one calls, scripts, role-playing, systems, everything's dialed in.
And mindset. So you've got 4 weeks of calls with me as well. So not only are the systems in place, but we're going to fine-tune the individual sitting in the chair, making sure that they don't have some of these, the resistance around the sale. We're going to work on that comfort and, get you fine-tuned and ready to, enjoy this process.
Yep, and that's what we're here for, helping gym owners win. This is a big piece of what we do. So, guys, that's it for this episode. Ask the hard questions. Don't forget to ask for the sale and jump on a call with us at pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. Until next episode, guys, take care. Keep changing lives.